Hello and welcome back to another Bad Movie Reviews review, hosted by the two guys who Zac Efron built his physique after in this film. And if you don't know what it is the Iron Claw. Didn't know how to start off with that.
Probably
because
your body, my head.
Once we get into the review, I don't know if I can quite sit here and make, a snarky comment, but it is none other than the Iron Claw, which is directed and written by Sean Durkin, who, looking at his information, I've actually not seen anything he's done before. So
Cool.
Incredible. It's not his obviously first feature or anything he's made, but
Anything notable?
no.
Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, but respect. But it is, starring Zac Efron as the titular character and Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, and Shameless, he won a Golden Globe today for The Bear, miniseries. Yeah. And Harris Dickinson, who we've probably seen most recently in Scrapper and also in Triangle of Sadness, and he's definitely an actor to watch. But if you don't know the sort of basic bare bones of the plot, it's about the Von Erich brothers, or family even, set in the early 80s, which are kind of, I guess, the pioneers of wrestling in a way. But I won't get into it too much, because if you don't know the story, I'd recommend you to see the film, because it is an interesting one.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about the story or the history or anything prior to this film.
I knew a little bit because my younger brother is very into wrestling, and obviously they're quite, well known. And even then they were wrestling. Kevin was wrestling at the time when he was watching, and I knew a little bit and obviously read a book, but I wasn't quite familiar with everything. But this film definitely made me familiar with everything. It also made me familiar with my tears.
Yeah.
We became very good friends in this.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I don't want to review this. I'm that broken. It was a great film.
In all seriousness, it is genuinely an impeccable film. We're obviously reviewing this in 2024. It has come out here in 2024 in Australia, but
thanks, Australia.
When we do our best of 2023, we're probably going to base it off, list like anything that says 2023 on IMDb or Letterboxd or something.
Yep.
So this will, without a doubt, probably be my top 10.
I don't want to put any spoilers out, so I'll keep mine on down low.
There's probably you could probably try and put my top 10 together just based off reviews, but it is an impeccable film, and to be honest, it's probably one that while reviewing, if you've watched me review After Sun or All of Us Strangers, it's probably one I will try and sort of tiptoe around to actually not be emotional.
Yeah.
Because this film really did hit me in the feels. But I guess I'll probably chat about the performances first, because that's probably what the film's format layers around.
Yeah, layered, great word, definitely.
Zac Efron.
Yep.
Probably his best performance to date. And he's been in some great films and had put in some great performances, but this is, in my opinion, probably his I've Arrived performance.
Yeah, I agree completely.
He's been in, Charlie, he's been in films along the way where he's been very good, but
High School Musical.
This High School Musical being his number one, and 17 again, Hairspray, you know the rules. But no, it's obviously a very, rather than a perform, obviously as I said earlier, Golden Globes were earlier today where Cillian Murphy won for Oppenheimer, but that's a very much nuanced performance. This is almost on the opposite side of the spectrum, where it's it's almost entirely physical in a way.
Yeah.
Obviously you look at his, you put on the weight for it, but more so what I mean is the performing in the ring, per se, which he's obviously never done.
All that was great. We talk about always about some of our best performances that we've seen is the moments of silence too. And I felt like Zac Efron's moments of silence, where he could express a whole scenario, a whole scene, a whole range of emotions with nothing. I felt like that was one of the major strengths of this film, and one of Zac Efron's strengths. Definitely his best performance today for myself. That stuff. They're acting with pure body language is the stuff that really I think elevates you above other performers.
Well, I don't think like I thought the script and screenplay were great, but like it wasn't like there was incredible dialogue like some of the films issue. Like it wasn't like there was like one, this monologue where I'm like, fuck yeah, or like that's incredible. It was very much, as you said, like a facial performance in a way. Like there's not this scene where, when they do these kind of Oscars and they show the show reel of like, and it's just always someone yelling or like some monologue. This performance is very much different in that retrospect, but also everyone around him was impeccable. Yeah. In my opinion, Jeremy Allen White, which I've watched The Bear, I don't know if you've watched it, but and Shameless. This is
just seen him in Shameless mostly.
He kind of almost just demands the like attention on this. He's got this like charisma or like enigmatic like presence of him.
Yeah, it's like an attitude.
Yeah, and he is seriously good in this film. But Harris Dickinson, we've obviously seen Scrap. I think he's probably one of the actors to watch in general. I don't know how old he is, but like everything we've seen him in, Triangle of Sadness, Scrapper, this, even just going through those three roles, there is an incredible range there, and it's actually ridiculous. Scrapper, he obviously plays a British, chat kind of dad,
Chav
but like
dad,
Chav,
yeah.
like a dad, young dad, but like, and then Triangle of Sadness, a rich, influencer type, and then this, it's just, he's obviously, this is an American role compared to that, but even he had an incredible presence in this film, and
I agree.
Holt McElhaney as Fritz, the dad, was also impeccable.
What's he from? I couldn't picture his face.
Mindhunter. That's probably what I know him from most, which is the like David Fincher TV show where they like on Netflix. But it's an interesting one though, because like usually obviously it is based on a true story. A lot of the time when you see films like these where the dad is like a fuckwit, like a cunt. Like that's one way to put. Usually, like he did have some kind of lovable side to him in a way, because usually you see them as just a straight up dick. But like even the way he treated his wife in this film, there was nothing.
No,
like usually they're always a dick to just everyone.
Yeah,
but he was obviously so loving the way he talked about his wife in a certain scene, and the way he even acted with his boys at times was just all this love.
Yeah, he said a lot of motivational things to him too.
But I don't know how you feel in terms of performances, but I thought across the board these were all impeccable.
Yep.
And I feel like they're not talking about Efron's performance enough. I feel like he should be like genuinely up there come awards discussion, even though it's right now. Like the nominations are coming up in a couple of weeks for Oscars, so we'll see. But no, I thought, and the thing is, this film very much lives and dies by those performances. To be honest, it's not like.
Sorry, I always laugh because that's one of your favorite things to say.
No, but it does. Like
it's not like
you watch Poor Things, right? And the reason I bring that up is because I'm on the page of IMDb looking at the cast and crew, and Poor Things ad has come up here. That film is so heavily not reliant, but like so heavily built upon this incredible production design and this odd feeling, whereas this is very much a actor's movie. Yeah. But Sean Durkin did direct the shit out of it as well.
It has some of my favorite shots ever. There was one shot which is not really a spoiler because it is
it's
actually
the one where it's
trailer.
Always focused on the he's going back and forth between the wrestling ring, and the focus is on just the rubber. Yeah,
that was one of the other ones I liked. But no, it was the one where the three brothers are all sitting in the same room after, like the match, and they're like it's kind of like holographic. They've got like the three images of the three over the top of each other.
Yeah,
and just the way that looked and the color palette, I was like, this is one of the most gorgeous looking shots I've seen. Now that was in the trailer, that one, so you might be familiar with it.
I don't think that necessarily spoils.
No, it doesn't spoil anything. No. But man, like that was behind the camera, which is where we jumped to there. Like that was phenomenal. The way that was shot, the way it was directed, I loved all that so much.
Yeah, I think everything. I don't really have any faults with this film, to be honest.
No.
I'm not saying it's like a masterpiece by any means, but like it's just an impeccable film. It has everyone in the film at the top of their craft, even probably Sean Durkin. I'm not familiar with his other work, but It's an incredible piece of filmmaking, and I just think the story as well. In my opinion, it was handled with such grace. It is a very fucked up story and situation, and very, very heavy, like a very, very heavy story, and the contents in it will probably make you cry at one point. I know I did, probably at 3 times, 4 times maybe. It is hard to watch.
Yeah.
And there is a specific scene which did make me like genuinely want to lie in a ball and cry. And you can probably know what scene it is.
I know,
you know
exactly what scene it is. For anyone that's probably familiar with any of our other reviews, and Ben knows that I always try to like really macho films. So even though I'm kind of like an emotional person secretly, I don't cry when I'm in a cinema. I go watch a Disney movie in my own bed at home. I'll cry my eyes out. But I don't cry in a cinema. You know what? I broke this time. One single tear came down. It was like the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I was like the cop. He just finally let it go.
Yeah, look, me on the other hand, I will happily cry in a cinema of 400 people with the lights on. Mind you,
I felt like it was like the performances were so great. It was nearly like relatable, and it's not something you want to be relatable to, but like it was, you could feel it. You could feel like everything that you were part of that.
Then that's the thing. It has an incredible. The film itself has an incredible way of having. Of building empathy.
Yeah.
I brought up After Sun and All of Us Strangers because that was, reviews I got emotional about, and films I do get emotional about, where After Sun's obviously about dealing with depression and mental health and understanding parents' mental issues when you become at an older age, which is something I could quite heavily relate to. And All of Us Strangers is very much about losing loved ones and grief and things like that. Whereas this one's very similar situation, but it's almost it's not as if it's it's hard to explain, but it's almost kind of incomprehensible, the situation they go through, because it's something that you just it's just ridiculously it's just almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it properly, but and I did say this to you on the way home as well, is Sean Durkin's been quite heavily on the record. There is a 6th brother that they took out of the film because it would have had to be probably an hour longer, but also because he basically said it almost would be too depressing. And you might sit there and go, this is almost unrealistic, even though it is it is a true story. And what Kevin Von Erich went through, it is almost a feel-good story in the end. Man, I can't even comprehend going through that. But yeah, I really got to give props to everyone in the film. I thought the performances were incredible, and they brought such grace and a nice presence of that situation. Like that, as I said, they dealt with it in such a not fragile way is probably the wrong way to put it, but they put a lot of care into it, and you can tell they have a lot of pride in making this film, and the actors, and you can see they also had a lot of fun making it, even though it's such a heavy subject matter. But I can't give this film enough praise, to be honest.
I can't even put it into words, as you can tell.
It is a bit difficult. Funnily enough, if you do watch, I know you haven't seen All of Us Strangers. If you do watch that review, I can't remember how long it was. It was probably 7 minutes, and I reckon 4 minutes of it was me just going, just trying to find words to put into it.
I feel like I am Kevin, and like that
okay, well.
scenario. Don't think I have a great life. It hasn't been like that. But it's I felt like I was him, and that I could understand that, and I experienced that, and I feel
that's the thing.
Wrecked from this film.
That's the thing. That's what I was saying about in terms of the way Sean and the cast allow you to feel empathy in this situation, because it is you almost do feel like it's something incomprehensible to 99% of people what he goes through, but you feel that pain, you feel that struggle, and that comes down to the performances, what's on screen. You really empathize with these characters and what they're feeling, and you're like, it's just impeccable movie, really.
Before we actually went and watched it, as I was finishing up at work, I was like, really don't want to watch this film tonight. I don't think I'll enjoy it. I don't think it'll be that good. Thank fuck I went and watched it. I'll tell you. Bloody
It's
hell.
funny that you say that because it's been getting
Also,
it's been getting like rave reviews for like past 3
Yeah, that is true. But it is a typical me thing to be like, oh, I don't want to go watch this, and we go watch it. I'm like, fuck, that was unreal. He's not bad on the old recommendations, that's for sure.
Right, no, it's just what comes out, right? So, but no, I do. It sounds like that's probably what we have to say, what we can say in terms of what we can actually communicate, because that's probably a struggle at the moment. But I do plead everyone to go see it. I'm not sure when it's out. This was quite early for Australia. It comes out on the 18th here, so we were lucky enough to see it a week and a half early. I plead you to go see it. If you have seen it, comment below. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're also struggling to
breathe,
to
exist.
Or like, you know, get some fresh air. But if you do like our review, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and without further ado, we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.